My heart right now is in 10,000 pieces. No child is going to suffer the way my child suffered. Nobody else could go through what I'm experiencing right now.
Charlene Zorn from Wilmington, North Carolina, is warning others about vaping after her stepson Solomon Wynn died in June of this year.
He was healthy and 4 months ago got a cough. So we thought it was bronchitis. It didn't clear up. We back to the family doctor, it didn't clear up. They tried different antibiotics. They ran blood tests. They ran x-rays for pneumonia. Immediately looked at the x-rays and said to Solomon, "You've been vaping, don't lie."
She says she had no idea the 15-year-old was vaping.
And I've had so many people say to me, "How does Solomon get it?" How does any kid get anything? A friend, a sibling, they stole it from a parent, and we're not parents that smoke. And he collapsed on Friday the 16th. And we had to make the choice on Saturday night to take him off the ventilator.
Get it, boy. Get it, boy.
Before Solomon got sick, she says he was an athlete.
He was in the weight room every morning before school up until he started getting sick. And even then he still was going. He was in the gym every Saturday with his daddy.
Charlene's goal now is to make sure others know the possible risks.
Well, I probably have had a dozen people reach out to me and say they will never vape again after reading about Solomon. One of my son's friends admitted to me right in front of his mother that he was vaping. And I said to the mom, please schedule him a doctor's appointment and get a chest x-ray done. Because you don't know what's lurking in there. So my son's entire football team came to his funeral in their jerseys. I spoke to every single one of those boys. I put my hand on every one of their faces and I said, I cannot allow you to become Solomon. If you're vaping, you have to stop.
According to Dr. Sharon Panettiere, vaping can be especially harmful to children.
But it's particularly dangerous for adolescents because their brains are still developing. So when you're altering what should be the normal process by adding in these chemicals that go from your lungs to your brains, it makes for an addictive process and a harmful process at that.
In her opinion, this is why vaping can be unhealthy.
There's a lot of chemicals within these e-cigarettes that people are inhaling, and a lot of chemicals that we don't know what they do when they're inhaled. When you inhale it's kind of unknown what happens to the lungs, and actually all we do know about it is that it's harmful.
Dr. Panettiere warns that there are several ways for kids to hide vaping from adults.
And kids in general are always on their phones, right? And so Instagram sales are a pretty good source of where to get these things. A lot of places, even in person, don't card and they don't require a lot of identification. There are devices that look like USBs, so kids can take a few puffs even in class and teachers wouldn't know. There are even things where it's attached to a hoodie, and so it just looks like you're wearing a hoodie, and then there's a vape pen attached to it. So there's a lot of different ways to hide it.
If parents suspect their child is vaping, she says get them checked.
Definitely talking to a healthcare provider is a good idea. In general, we can screen for symptoms. Pediatric pulmonologists, we tend to do lung function testing with each visit, and that can usually provide some information right off the bat. And if there's something concerning on those results, then we can send for imaging as well.
Now that Charlene has shared her story, she hopes it will educate others about the potential harms of vaping.
Somebody has to stop the vaping industry. Somebody has to put an end to this. And if that means I have to go out and be a dog and pony show and talk to every person, every single place I could go, bring it on, baby. It's either this or crawl under my blanket and not come back out. So which is the healthier choice? Me getting under my blanket does Solomon no good. We now need to teach our children what an epidemic vaping is. It's a world health crisis. It's just like everything else.
According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, using e-cigarettes is unsafe for kids and young adults. They say, quote, most e-cigarettes contain nicotine, and nicotine is highly addictive and can harm adolescent brain development. They also warn that, quote, e-cigarettes can contain other harmful substances besides nicotine. We reached out to Vapor Technology Association for comment, but did not get a reply. For Inside Edition Digital, I'm Andrea Swindall.